Okay, you guys, I filmed part of this already and then ended the video because I thought that was all I had to say. But then I realized I should probably go over why maybe some people are in like fourth or fifth position instead of the first position. So this is now the beginning of a video that I already ended. So there's going to be an abrupt cut to the next half where I question whether I should even make the hurricane follow-up video at all. So just stick with me on this. So I'm going to pull up the scorecard again, just like I do in the other part. Anyway, so I learned the name of the girl's name who was in fifth place yesterday, Gina. Gina's her name. And I did a little research and I saw that Gina, she went pro in 2019 and then right off the bat at the Tampa Pro got fourth place. And like as an amateur, I mean, not an amateur anymore, but like her first pro show, she got fourth place, which is incredible. So she was behind Maureen, Romina, and Casey Samsel, which is like a tall order. So well done. And then since then, she took time off and about a year there almost. And then competed again, top 5, top 6, took a couple years off, and then was getting 5th, 3rd, 5th. And then this year she has gotten, she got 4th at Southern Muscle Showdown. And then at this show, she got 5th. So she looked amazing. And I want to talk about why maybe she got, because she's had a ton of potential from the very beginning. So I'm going to talk about why maybe, or how she could get in higher placing than 5th and win a show. So let's look at her pictures. So here she is in her front pose. I think hair and makeup look beautiful. She looks great. I wonder if a brighter lip would flatter her even a little bit more, but it's perfect as is. And then her dark suit, I assume that's why she maybe plays down the makeup a little bit because her suit is a darker color. So I would like to see what she looks like in a poppier color. Maybe like, I don't know, is red hack to do at this point? I think red would look great, obviously. Or maybe like a bright blue, not necessarily a sapphire, but just something a little poppier. She would look beautiful in like Tricot Iris from Toxic Angels, like the one that Brittany Gillespie just wore at the Olympia, which had some pink stones in it this time. This one doesn't have pink stones, but something like that would look really beautiful on her, especially because she has like a harder physique. So if she had a softer color like this, I think this is what Brittany just wore. I'm not sure, but it has pink in it. That's what I'm talking about. Then that would really pop on her and give her that really streamlined, beautiful look. And she already looks beautiful, so anything from here is just a bonus. And you can see what I mean. She has a little bit more hardness throughout her physique. Still, like, great conditioning, but she's just muscular. She looks great. And then what do I think could finally get her into that, like, top spot? I think we talked about this yesterday. If she had a little more shape to this bottom here, like if she pulled the front upwards, it would pull the back downwards and give her that heart shape to the bottoms. We won't go over that too much because I talked about it yesterday. But if she arched a little bit less, she might get a little bit less of this vacancy here. We'd like to see more glute just throughout here. We want to see them really pop. So maybe if she arched less, then she would get fuller looking glutes. Because think about it. When you stretch your muscle, like I stretch my bicep, there's no pop to it. But if I flex it, there's pop to it. Okay, I never flexed, so the fact that I flexed on camera is honestly weird and cringy. But that's what I mean. So when you're really arched, it stretches out the glutes, and they don't get that pop to them. If she arched a little bit less, then she'd have more of that shape to them. But she's probably doing this for a reason. She's clearly an experienced pro, always does well. And maybe that's how she's getting this great shape to the upper outer glutes. Another thing we're seeing is that you can see this little indentation. What that is we're seeing where the glute muscle connects to the lower back. And you don't want to see that. That shows like, because it looks shallow. It looks like the glutes aren't as developed. So if she pulled her suit bottom up in the front, which would pull it down in the back, then she would get better shape and her glutes would look really full all throughout. So I think if she arched a little bit less, which would make the glute insertion shorter, and it would also make her waist look tighter. It would make it look smaller because she's more upright, so it doesn't have to come out towards us, making it look wider. And she pulled that suit bottom down. Then I think those three things would transform how her glutes look, and they'd look more full. Right now, they're looking a little bit shallow right here because she's pushing so hard that we're seeing where it connects to like her skeleton. Not that we can see her skeleton, but you know what I mean. Maybe you don't. I don't know. And I took my earrings out. I was wearing these a second ago. But yeah, I think that would really transform her look. And I'm curious to see if she competes again, if she might do that. Like maybe they told her to arch less. So yeah, I think something like that, she might even get in that like top 1 or 2 spot. And if she doesn't start to do that well, if she makes those changes, it might be a matter of just putting on a little bit more muscle, so she gets that great projection to her glutes. And one of the reasons people arch this much is to get those glute ham ties to show, but we see those glute ham ties. Like, it's not that she doesn't have them, so she doesn't really need to do that. It might just be a remnant of previous seasons where you have to pose really hard to get muscles to show, but now she's at a point where those muscles will just show, so she doesn't have to push really hard to get them to show anymore because the muscle is there. Sometimes our posing, we are posing for a physique we no longer have. So I think that might be happening to her. And another reason I think she got a little bit lower is see all this detail in her hamstrings. You don't want to see that much detail. Think about like Ashley Kaltwasser, for example. She has like a really beautiful muscle belly to her physique. To her hamstrings. And you see just that indication of the glute ham tie, rather than seeing all of that detail in the hamstrings themselves. So this is what I'm talking about. You aren't seeing, maybe a little, but you really aren't seeing that much detail in the hamstrings compared to what you're seeing in Gina, which Gina, again, I'm so sorry I didn't know your name yesterday. So yeah, that's my take on that. And then she always has had, and this is most people, this is me too. Not that I'm on Gina's level, but this is me too. You, have to arch a lot because your quads are pretty much the same width as the glutes, and you want the glutes to be like almost an ice cream cone tapering down into those quads and hamstrings instead of them all being the same width all the way around. So yeah, that's what I think there. And then let's talk, and she should feel great about herself. I'm sure she does. She should feel great about herself, which she probably does, because she just beat 3 people who were at the Olympia. She beat Ruki, Zinyi, and Woobi. So good for her. Amazing. And then Brittany we talked about in a little bit, Evie we talked about in a little bit, and Creed and Adair. One other person I wanted to mention is someone I saw compete in person last year at a class show. And when she came on stage, it looked like she's a pro now, but she hadn't quite caught up with presentation stuff that the pros have. So this is what she looked like at the show that I saw. And she did not place at this show. I believe she got, it feels rude to be like, I believe she got last place, but I think she was in that one of those last place positions. Yeah, so she got 16th out of 16, Taylor Crowell, and she had the shape, like the proportions are definitely there. I thought her toes were pointed out a little bit too much to where they're making the width of her quads look the same width as her glutes. So if she maybe pointed her toes a little bit more forward, not completely forward, but a little bit more, so that her glutes would taper down into those legs, that would have benefited her. And she just wasn't quite conditioned enough last year. And then her makeup left a little bit to be desired. It looked just a little bit washed out on stage. And then when the list came out, I looked up who was on the list, and I looked up all the names. And then I was like, Taylor Crowell. So I went back and looked at her history, saw that it was her. And then when she walked out yesterday, wow, she looked so good. Her makeup, Jamie DiBernard is her coach now. I don't know if that was her coach then, but Jamie is an excellent coach, as we know. She has about half the Olympians on stage are her clients. So I was really excited to see Taylor on stage yesterday looking like this. The suit color was excellent for her. Conditioning was on point. I'll look at the back post, but it was like clearly on point, especially compared to last year. And the hair was polished. The makeup was fucking painted. She looked good. I was obsessed. I was so happy to see this. It just makes me really happy to see new pros come into their own on stage like this. And yeah, her posing is better this year. Her quads are not overpowering her glutes. She'll need a little more upper outer glutes. She still didn't, I don't think she placed yesterday, but I just wanted to shout her out for like the awesome improvements that she made. She looked really polished and put together, and that made me super happy to see. So congrats, Taylor. You don't know me, but my name is Sam, and I saw you in person last year. Okay. And then we go over the other people. So now I'm going to abruptly cut to the other half of the video I made and enjoy. Okay, goodbye for right now. Okay, I wrote some notes. So yesterday, Hurricane, here were the results. We have Bikini right here. So the scorecards say, there we go. Okay, so it was a perfect score between 1 and 2. So Adair did win, as we predicted yesterday. And Corrine came in second place. So we have Adair, Corrine. And then third and fourth place were where the real race was. So third place, we had Evie. And then fourth place, we had Brittany. So, and Brittany posted today. Let me just pull up what she posted today. She said that she fixed her hair for finals. I think it's important to note that she fixed her hair for finals. So, TV PLM. Oh no, am I gonna dox myself? Okay. Pro Saturday replays, perfect. So, yeah, Brittany fixed her hair. It was all the same length, and she commented on that on her story. She said that, it was the first time she had her makeup people also do her hair. She usually takes care of her own hair. And then it had that like weird choppiness, so she fixed it before finals. So her hair was all the correct length come that time. Honestly, I should have just stopped this video and did a different video, but I'll just pull up her Instagram. So sorry, you guys. Okay. Here. You can see in this video that she fixed her hair. So yeah, it was a 1 point difference between Evie and Brittany. And I think and she also said, here's what else she said. Okay, see, her hair is perfect. It's all one length now. Excellent. So here's what she said. She said that as far as her judges' feedback goes, she said that people always mention the striation she has in her glutes, which are not actually striation. She's talking about those couple lines that travel across her glutes. She said that the judges did not say anything about that, and what they actually said is that she could stand to grow her glutes. So these are those little lines that she's referencing, and that's just genetic. It's not that she has... That's not how the striations would go. Those are, I don't think. I mean, those are pretty horizontal. That's just how her glutes are shaped. And she said that she also came in better for finals. And when she says she needs to grow her glutes, or not needs to, but the judges said she could stand to grow her glutes. In her front pose, they are very noticeable. I think it's still pretty balanced. Again, she has like an extreme physique, which, I mean, in my dreams. But I think what could happen is maybe they're saying that she could stand to grow this upper outer glute a little bit, or maybe get a little more projection, because right now, projection meaning like more density, so the glute pops out a little bit more. And I think the reason that might be is because she has like great density to her muscle. She is one of my favorite competitors. I really want to see her qualify very soon. But her quads are pretty straight up and down with her glutes, so maybe if she had a little more projection to her glutes, it would differentiate her glutes more from her legs. Not that they don't stand out now, and again, the lighting in these pictures I wouldn't say is the best to even go over any of this. I'm just doing it because I went over prejudging yesterday. But yeah, so they said she could stand to grow her glutes if she wanted to, and that none of them say anything about these lines going across the side of her glutes. So yeah. So stop saying that. I guess is what I'm saying. And then I think one thing that could also help Brittany is so she smiles during her routine, but not to sound like a misogynist and be like, smile more, woman. Like, ew, I disagree with that. But unfortunately, this sport has some undertones of misogyny. So smiling more just makes it look like you're having fun, and translates really well on stage. So see, not smiling, and then shows her dazzling smile. She has beautiful teeth, and then stops smiling, smiles again. So I think maybe if she just read as having like even more fun than she's already having, because she looks confident, it's not that she doesn't look confident, then maybe that would help her a little bit. But Brittany doesn't really need my help. She's killing it. She's went to the Olympiad. So yeah. And then Evie, score Evie, it was a 1 point difference. Evie does a lot of extra stuff with her posing routine that I do not think is necessary. And Evie's structure is almost a little more narrow up top and then wider as you go down further. So I don't think a pose like this is necessarily the most flattering because it doesn't really give the hourglass shape. And you want to give hourglass shape in every single move that you make on stage. So I think if she did less of that and just hit those mandatories and did her little transitions, then she would be in a really good spot. But she's still in a good spot. She's won roughly 1 million shows before. Pretty much every European show she does. And then Gina is that one girl's name, 5th place name. And then something else I wanted to mention is Corrine, at least on the stream, when she was walking yesterday, it looked like she got a little bit soft in that glute ham thigh area, but looking at these pictures, I mean, maybe a little bit. So I don't know. I thought maybe I would just mention it, but that's it. I honestly shouldn't even have gone over Hurricane anymore because I kind of said everything yesterday. So if you made it through this part, thanks so much. So yeah, let me know who you think is gonna win today. And you guys have been so kind liking my videos, so thank you so much. I think that's all.